Decentro Media presence at Toronto's Blockchain Futurist Conference is brought to you in part by Hobie Canada, the #1 choice for institutional-grade cryptocurrency trading.
Hi everyone, this is Decentro Report and I'm in Toronto at the Blockchain Futurist Conference. I'm with Michael Moll from the Reitium project, and it's very exciting to have him on the show. Michael, thank you so much for being on Decentro Report.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and it's an amazing day here in Toronto. We've had a lot of fun so far.
Absolutely. So I met the Reitium project back in March in 2020, which is only 5 months ago, but it seems like a decade ago.
Oh yeah.
Both of us have extensively been on the road. So I was really excited to see you guys, and it's awesome to catch up with the Reitium project again. It is actually one of my favorite projects at this time. And if you can remember, I was absolutely blown away when I met you and you told me about the concepts. So let's blow away the viewers. What's Reitium all about?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us again. And Reitium is a real estate investment platform built on blockchain. It's built on Hyperledger Fabric. And what it does, it allows any real estate in the world to be tokenized, that is linking the real estate asset to digital tokens, security tokens that can then be crowdfunded and crowd invested on our marketplace, and then secondary traded in a compliant way on our security token exchange.
Okay, so you're actually going to have a real estate platform as well for buying and selling houses.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So what we realized is we needed to create a full solution. Just the underlying technology layer is great, but the real estate industry is not a technology industry. The customers who want to tokenize their real estate assets, that's REITs, sovereign wealth funds, family offices, and multiple property owners, they don't have the technical capacity just to take a bunch of code and do it themselves. So we realized we actually need to build out the full suite of tools. So that's Know Your Customer KYC, that's anti-money laundering plugins, that is a website to host their crowd investment opportunity, then all of the back end that links to tax planning, as well as remittances for dividend payouts, independent appraisals, legal teams, accounting teams. So we're a full service solution for tokenizing, monetizing, and managing real estate assets.
So if Remax, for example, wants to plug you guys into their systems, would they be able to do that?
Exactly.
Really?
They'd be able to do that 100%, and we'd be able to have an API
this is,
to
like
bring...
you said, this has all changed quite a bit since I first met you guys.
Definitely.
Okay, let's get into this. Sorry for cutting you off. Go on. Remax can plug you in.
So Remax will plug in, and what we're really looking at is any real estate asset could be tokenized on Reitium, and what allows is we can allow anybody to own income generating and appreciating real estate for as little as $100.
Yeah.
And that means bringing down the ticket price dramatically and changing who is a real estate investor, who can participate, who can sit at the table, and we're really excited about that.
All right, so I want to buy into your condominium unit. I have $100 spare. I can actually fractionally own a condo. Is that what you're saying?
100%. You can go onto our website or our mobile app, quickly put in your identification card. With 20 seconds, we run that KYC, we know who you are. You send us money, you can send us through fiat, through other crypto, or through our utility token, which I'll talk about later. And then we charge you a 3% processing fee, or 1.5% if you use our own token. Then you've invested into that property. Once the property is fully crowd invested, we then give you digital security tokens, which are ownership tokens. When you hold those tokens every month, when that property generates its income after expenses, we split those that rental income as dividends between all the token holders. You then have an opportunity to decide, do you want that money in fiat cash? Do you want that money in other crypto? Or do you want that money in our own tokens, our own utility tokens?
Yeah.
We also have a partner that will allow you to take that money out in WeChat. So we can send to WeChat, or you can do something like M-Pesa, which is mobile money in Kenya. And so
does WeChat have a payment?
It has a payment gateway, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, we've been traveling through Asia. We've actually been to Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai, South Korea, LA, New York, and now we're finally in Toronto. So we're really happy. This is our first conference on Canadian soil.
Awesome. And it's a Canadian project out of Vancouver.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm based in New Zealand, and I know this is a global problem, and that's the cost of housing and the cost of getting into the real estate market. And in particular, it's a challenge for millennials. So do any of these problems that exist out there, are they any motivators to this project to begin with?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's 100% the motivation.
Okay,
you know,
right.
We we have a social impact vision that aligns directly with our bottom line. And what that is people have been priced out of the real estate market all around the world. Millennials, seniors, but also people in the developing world who, financial inclusion talks about, let's get everyone a bank account. Great. That gets you half a seat at the table. The other half is actual financial instruments to actually grow your money and your capital.
Yep.
And one of the great stories of our founding is our CEO and co-founder Thomas Park sold over $500 million worth of real estate in Vancouver, made amazing returns for his clients. His mom comes to him and says, here's $35,000. Can you put my money to work? I want to buy and invest in something. He says, I can't touch that money. She says, well, I'm 75 years old. I can't get a mortgage from the bank. They're not gonna touch anything. So she's like, why don't I get 6 friends together? We'll pool money and we'll go. And he says, well, that's tough. A tough way to do a real estate syndication because you're all 75 plus. You're all going to be on title. What happens if someone dies? It's very difficult to get liquidity, very difficult to manage. And so we thought, well, blockchain, we're tracking it for the last couple of years. We say, well, things are being tokenized. The next frontier of the Internet of Value is tokenizing real assets. We realized that crowdfunding exemptions for private equity investing for retail investors have been pushed even before blockchain. Countries want individuals to be able to safely invest in private placements. And so that's already happened. Crowdfunding, Kickstarter models, things that the whole consciousness of the world is moving towards understanding the shared economy, shared value. And so we thought this would be an amazing way to use blockchain as a trust layer, as a shared ledger, as a way for getting global payments in and out, and allowing for fractional ownership to go from the same people in a jurisdiction with the same property to now having properties all over the world, investors all over the world, participating in a very safe, secure environment and owning income-generating real estate.
I can just imagine Thomas explaining why his grandma can't invest. Just as he's explaining it to her, the sparks starting to fly in his mind.
Definitely.
And realizing, wait a second, I actually know how I can make this happen. So it's not just millennials you want to help out. It's the seniors as well who can't get a mortgage.
Definitely, their age.
Okay,
and then also on
awesome.
top of that, what's really cool is people in the developing world. So inflation is a major problem all over the world. So people are like not only saying, how can I invest in something, but they're saying, how can I save my money?
Hedge against inflation.
Hedge against inflation. So like we look at people like Venezuela, we look at places like Kenya where inflation can be 8-15% and crazier than that. And so if they can just put their money there, $100 to $5,000 in an asset that could produce even 3%, they're way up, right? And then that way they can actually, on top of that, we're looking at other people who can then take the investment, put their money in an investment, and then we're talking to different partners to leverage that investment as a way for them to actually get a credit score, and then be able to leverage that to get a loan and do other things with it. So there's some really interesting things coming down the pipeline.
I see this as like the beginnings of Amazon selling ebooks.
Definitely.
How that was a gateway to now millions of authors worldwide able to be authors.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's a great comparable.
This is a total analogy. It's much bigger scale in the quantities of money, possibly. Some books, some guy will rock up on Amazon and sell 20 million copies of a book as a first shot at it.
Amazing.
So it would just be great if and when we hear the success stories of perhaps Thomas's grandma, who actually starts banking some good cash with her investments through Reitium.
Definitely. And it's we're so excited about that. We see our dream customer is someone who's young, and we have a youth model as well. And what can happen is they can start saving and investing into real estate, at 15, 16. And by the time they're 25, they have enough for a down payment to buy a property to live in. We then think about financial freedom as the real objective here.
Awesome.
If people can actually learn to save and invest smartly, then they can do things that we haven't even yet dreamed about for them. And so we're very excited about that part of the business.
So is there a specialized team, and I'm assuming Thomas being experienced with buying and selling homes in Vancouver, is there an experienced team that will find a good home or condo to buy, and you'll put that on the platform, and people will, it just gets crowdfunded into a purchase?
Yes, so that's a really good question. So what we're doing is we actually have a network of 600 real estate agents, high performing.
I
vetted,
see.
And so they're going to be bringing us deals, right? So some of those are on our team, and some of them are within our network, and that's growing. And so that 90% are in North America, because those are the safest jurisdictions in terms of judicial systems, et cetera, et cetera. So we're starting with Canadian and American real estate, and then we have a few trials that are going to be starting globally, and so they'll be bringing us deals. But we also have, like I said, REITs and sovereign wealth funds, so who are bringing us deals as well, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
So the search for gem properties is crowdsourced.
Exactly.
That is awesome. I really like this project.
Exactly. And just to add to that is, so we have our real estate network who will be crowdsourcing for us, but we're also in development of a machine learning tool that will actually help us find properties. So big data mining of, hey, here are all these great properties that performed over the last 20 years. Here's all this data about where the market's going. Find us either undervalued or well-valued properties that can come onto the network, and then we use that machine learning. We're going to start with IBM Watson, as well as working with the real estate network, and that's a PayPal model. What PayPal used for security on their team, it's like half machine learning AI, half humans, and that brings the most optimal for finding really good risk scores and really good opportunities for investment.
So the decisions to buy and sell is crowdsourced from the best of the best, which is, I can't imagine a better model.
Thank you.
That's awesome. What about the back end? Like, who's involved in the team?
Definitely.
Can you talk about some significant players?
Yeah, definitely. So we're really, like I said, Thomas Park, 15 years experience in real estate, $500 million sold there. So as our CEO and co-founder, amazing, just off the bat, having that. But on top of that, we brought on some really significant people. So Andrew Gillette, our CTO, he was on the Ethereum founding team, and he actually has been, over his last project with Decentro, was the Bank of Canada's R3 Corda blockchain project. And what that was doing instant settlements of interbank transfers.
Okay.
So right now it takes 3 to 5 days to clear settlements between banks. With this new project that's going to be a couple of years, it's right now in research project, you can do instant settlements of checks. So he's at that level of architecture. He's brought that to our team, and we've been able to really go rapidly. In terms of the REIT structure side, we have Thomas Tiedman. He's a senior vice president at Blackstone. They run a $400 billion fund. $100 billion of that is real estate, and he's brought the experience of helping us navigate the compliance and legal structures needed to onboard public and private REITs. So we're really excited about that side. We started off with residential real estate with the retail investor, but we're very, very quickly building an amazing suite of enterprise early customers as well.
So it sounds like a bit of an all-star team all around.
Definitely. And the last person I wanted to mention was our lawyer, Michael Stevens, #1 blockchain lawyer in Canada, works for Fasken. He was instrumental in the first security token offering being approved in Canada as well. He's joining our board, and he is helping us at lightning speed navigate through the waters of regulations, and we're really excited to have him as well.
That's good to hear. You've got a high quality lawyer behind this, because real estate's very complex, and you're combining it with this leading edge technology there's a lot of gray area, a lack of regulation, and a lack of clarification. So it sounds like you got the top and the best of the best on both sides, the blockchain side, the legal compliance side, and in the real estate world as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I feel very fortunate to have the team that I have, and it's just helping us move really, really quickly.
Right on. So you guys have been all over the world, spreading the word about Reitium. How has the traction been?
Amazing. So we,
of course,
well, we're blown away and very humbled. We right now have $280 million in letters of intent from real estate groups all around the world, mainly in the United States. So we have a.
So I just want to clarify. $0.2 billion worth of letters of intent.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. So 280 million. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And so we were very, very, very impressed by the response.
That's a significant amount of money.
It is significant amount of money. So we have a REIT in Las Vegas that has $28 million worth of real estate, and they want to onboard the entire suite of properties onto our platform over the next year. We then have a family office out of Chicago that has land and assets all around North America, and they're looking at a $30 million trial with us as well. We have a family office out of Thailand that works in Thailand and London. They own 200 hotels around the world.
Right.
100 are 4 and 5 star, 100 are like motel to 3 star, and they're going to be doing about a $100 million trial with us there. We're in talks with the second largest property developer in Thailand as well. They do about $5 billion of sales every year. $1 billion of new construction every year, and they want to do a research trial with us as well. So,
and this has all happened since I saw you in March.
Yeah.
None of this was on the table before.
I know, because
this is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so
truly,
much.
Yeah.
We're really fortunate because what we did was in the beginning we said, let's focus on compliance. Let's focus on finding the best blockchain solution.
Yeah.
Let's focus on building a team. So that's what we were doing that
Strong
whole time.
foundation.
Strong foundation. And then we started saying, okay, let's kind of open it up and see what type of people will get a response. And it really started flooding in.
Yeah.
And now what we're doing was just trying to push strategic first trial customers
and
to work with us.
Those
right?
numbers you're throwing around are just for the trials.
For the trials, yeah, because what we're saying is that we want, we have more people than that who want to participate, but we want to vet the best of the best. Our success is going to be based on the success of the first real estate that goes on. So actually, next month, we're going to have our first property ever on the platform.
Okay.
That's going to be a one-bedroom condo in Vancouver.
Keep it as simple as possible.
Simple as possible. Yep. It's going to be only for Canadian residents.
Nice.
We want to show the compliance engine.
I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah. Well, we want to show our compliance engine, right? There's a lot of talk around foreign money coming into Canada, pricing people out. But when you have fractional ownership, when you can allow people to go as little as $100,
yeah,
it's really, really easy to be able to fill that gap in Canada. So we want to show Canadians that they can buy real estate in their own country. We're getting a partnership with an organization that helps millennials. They have 50,000 millennials around Canada who've been squeezed out of the housing market. These are working professionals, and so they help them with planning, financial planning, discounts, etc. And so we're actually going to be offering it to them first. Right. So these are kind of the strategic partnerships we're looking at. After that, we have 10 more single one-bedroom condos in Vancouver that we will list between now and the next 4 months. And then in November, we'll open up the platform to these other properties, especially in the United States.
So when can I get some tokens? Because
yeah,
personally, and this is a personal opinion,
yeah,
I'm really keen to be part of this project.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Level.
Thank you so much. And
when can that happen for me?
So actually, we're just finishing up our private sale right now. Mainly it's being run out of South Korea, and our pre-sale is going to start next month. We're super excited about that. So that's in September. Right. We're going to be on a roadshow in Asia again. So we're doing Japan, Singapore, Korea, and China. And that's going to be open to the world. Really, really excited to let people in. Our vision is real estate for everyone. Mm-hmm. We've trademarked that as well, but we're standing behind it. So as we do our crowd sale, we want as many people to be able to compliantly invest in the company itself.
Of course, yeah, compliance 100% of the way. Yeah. So if and when I contribute to the ICO, now I'll just back up a second. You're going to have a utility token and a security token.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
Yeah. In the ICO phase, what would I get in return for the contribution?
Right,
the
so
utility token?
the utility token, yeah.
Okay.
And then so that utility token will be able to be used to invest into properties.
Right.
Right, exactly. So what we're doing is we have a 2-token model. So the utility token is a payment token system that will be used to be able to buy properties, pay for rent in the properties, get paid out when you sell your stake.
Yep.
And then what we have is we have a security token platform. So imagine Reitium is like Ethereum. Ethereum is for doing crowd sales for companies. Mm-hmm. Reitium is for doing crowd sales for properties. So every property, when you invest with utility tokens, any utility token, including fiat, you then get property tokens, property ownership security tokens that are generated per property per fund deal.
Oh, right. So it's almost like that condominium will have its own ERC 721 tokens.
Exactly. Yeah, I love the way you said that. Yeah, the non-fungible tokens. They're actually based off of that, but they are Hyperledger tokens.
Okay.
They're
specialized for
that. Because what we do with Hyperledger is there are 3 things. One is compliance. With an ERC 20 token, it's very difficult to stop secondary trading. And so with real estate, it's a security. So secondary trading is very, very, very tightly regulated.
Okay.
Hold periods, how long you should hold after you buy, who you can sell to, tax implications, all those things. So with Hyperledger, we have a compliance engine that basically checks and makes sure every secondary trade is compliant with the jurisdiction it's in.
And that's obviously all smart contract based.
All smart contract based on Hyperledger, exactly.
You probably took like 10 middlemen out of the equation just with the smart contract, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And then, what we do is we're not taking them out completely. What we're doing is we're significantly reducing the cost of their participation.
Yeah.
Right?
The workload.
With the workload. Yeah, and then that leads to allowing for it to be really affordable, right? The second thing thing that we do with Hyperledger is we're able to encrypt way more data into the token.
Okay.
With an ERC20 token, the metadata tags are very, very limited. With the tokens that we've created on Hyperledger, we're able to embed all of the data, your personal information, the title of the property, all of the back documents that link to that property. So you're literally holding a digital representation of a physical asset and its corporate structure and its tax implication and your personal information of the investment.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to switch modes here a little bit for more real estate oriented viewers.
Definitely.
So a REIT is a thing in real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the REIT system.
Right.
There's public and private REITs.
Right.
And yours is the Reitium platform.
Right.
So what's the sort of connection, and can you compare and contrast, please?
Right. So Reitium, it's the play on words, right? It's maybe a bit cheeky, but it's like real estate investment token.
So it's definitely not a REIT.
It's definitely not a REIT.
Yep.
So what we've done is REITs can be our customer, but we are primarily a technology platform.
Okay.
So what we've done is, and it's a great thing to really outline, is...
Can you very quickly explain what a REIT is?
Yeah, so what a REIT is, a real estate investment trust. It is a fund vehicle for investing in real estate. It has very great taxation benefits as well. And so what a REIT will do is it'll pool investors' money, and then it'll take that money and it will invest it and do all sorts of deals on the real estate side: buy, fix, flip, etc.
It's similar to your platform in the sense you can crowdfund.
You can crowdfund
to buy properties.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a fund of properties.
Okay.
So with our platform, we allow all the way down to individual properties to be crowdfunded. With REITs, it's a mixed bag.
Right.
And it's very opaque. So what people are doing, you're investing in this REIT and you're trusting them to go out and do a bunch of stuff, and then they give you a return. And what REITs do is they pay 90% of their money out in dividends. The difficulty with REITs is there's a lot of regulation around them. There's a lot of legal costs around it. So with public REITs and private REITs, we talk to some of these REITs. They will be our customers. They will be able to tokenize their real estate. They'll be able to tokenize their
and streamline the whole process.
Streamline the whole process on our platform. The big thing that we saw with REITs, that the challenge is they don't know how to market. So right now, in terms of digitally marketing.
Interesting. So
because they have an entire lineup of where that money comes from. So money that comes into REITs will come from pension funds, they'll come from mutual funds, financial planners, etc. Their direct marketing to the customer is very limited. So right now, in America, only 1 in 25 millennials is exposed to REITs indirectly or directly. And I would gather that it's 1 in 1,000 millennials even knows what a REIT is. So they are really behind in the ability to go direct to market. We are taking the Silicon Valley startup approach of we're going to be able to use Facebook, Instagram, influencers, celebrities, pop-ups, etc. to get our messaging out there and get people to be able to self-serve invest, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's where REITs are going to get disrupted and their model is going to have to change because their whole DNA is not built.
Well, they're either going to have to compete or just hop on board your nice streamlined system.
Exactly. And so,
well done.
Yeah, thank you. I think, we really are very fortunate to see a lot of our competitors as potential partners, right? There's a lot of space. Real estate is the largest asset class in the world. It's $280 billion right now. But something that's really important to mention is of all the buildings that will be built by 2030, less than 10% have already started. So there's a massive demand. Like cities are growing at an exponential rate. Right now we're about 45% of humans living in cities. Mm-hmm. In the next 30 years, we will be 70% of people living in cities. That's almost doubling the city population. So infrastructure funding, new construction funding is massive. So the question we're asking is, who's going to finance that? How will it be financed? And who's going to own all that real estate? And our hypothesis is the crowd can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. Property ownership is very complex, especially on the maintenance side. There's taxes involved. Mm-hmm. Problems can arise. You need insurance. So from what I understand from my research, there's a dedicated trust that is connected to Reitium or under the Reitium umbrella that manages all these tasks. Is that correct?
Right. So it's correct to the extent that we have a trust that holds the titles. And there's a trust in Canada, and there'll be a trust in every jurisdiction that we go into, mm-hmm. and that just protects from the double spend. Right? Okay. So it's like the title is held in trust on behalf of the token holders. The token holders can trade, but until the token holders vote 75% majority per property or per fund to liquidate, that title cannot be transferred. On the other side, we're actually now building out a global marketplace of independent property managers, third-party appraisals, third-party accountants, third-party lawyers who will all crowdsourcing perspective, work on each of the deals. So
And
now
bid
you'll know
to work on deals,
to work on
correct?
deals, exactly.
So
So now,
there's a marketplace involved for actual
yes, for all the vendors,
professionals
for the
that
professionals,
can
exactly.
offer
Yeah.
services.
Yeah, because we realize, like you said, it's way better to have the crowd for liability stake, for the ability for them to actually do a professional job, right? And we've just been really, encouraged by the people who are coming forward to say, hey, we're a global appraisal company, we'll participate.
Yeah.
Hey, we're a professional short-term or long-term rental property management company, we're interested in participating. And so that gives the investor the comfortability that, one, there's someone's neck to wring, excuse my French, but there's a chain of responsibility. They are all digitally signing onto the platform saying, yep, I signed those legal documents. Yes, this is real, company books. Yep, we've done property management, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something we're very excited, because now what we want to do is we want to be the underlying technology and the platform, but we want all these trusted third parties to participate. And it's almost like the Apple App Store. We want to make all these great companies that perform well more money, right?
Man, I'm floored at how far this project has evolved in just 5 months.
Yeah, thank you.
And I was, as you can remember, incredibly excited to hear about your idea in Singapore. But now it's just like I'm at a loss for words. It's almost like the back end, the structure of this company has seen a 10x.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I'm obviously not talking about a token price or anything like that. It's
Definitely.
like your company, the structure of it, your connections. It's at least a 10x increase from because I can compare. I haven't seen you guys for half a year, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're just so lucky. We've been through 5 countries. We've added people way smarter than us to our team, and we're out there listening. We're listening and we're adapting, and we're taking the lean startup approach. We're doing UX methodologies for learn, prototype, flip, bring something into the market. Every conference we go to, we test new messaging, we do new talks, and we're just really humbled by the fact that we can actually move this quickly.
No,
and
you
so
guys,
we're just very dedicated to helping this move forward, right?
You guys are a good team. Like, I was very easy to approach you guys in Singapore. We've stayed connected, and I feel like we're friends.
Definitely.
You know what I
Definitely,
mean?
yep.
And I can attest, this is like a real team. I really like these guys for a lot of valid reasons. So, man, I'm just not surprised at all at the ongoing success and the ability to just pull new people and new ideas into this project. So, congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Any last words to finish off the interview today?
Yeah, I think that we are just so fortunate to be at a time in the world. I think the first thing that happened was the internet, just to take it back a bit.
Yeah.
And that just connected people globally. And then we had the second coming of the social internet, where ideas and messages could spread very freely around the world. And then we had the mobile internet. And that, for everyone to have a terminal in their hand that they can do data, they can do e-commerce, they can be creative. And then the next wave was blockchain to create an internet of trustless environments, and then also the internet of value. And so we feel like we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and we feel like only now are companies like Reitium possible. But on top of that, the understanding of the shared economy is just as a conceptual, consciousness shift that people are like, together we have a lot, together we're powerful, and together we can own some of the best real estate in the world, and together we can make wealth sustainably grow for way more people than ever before. And that's what really drives us at the core, is all the people we are going to literally change their lives, make their lives more enjoyment, make it way better to have pride in ownership, but also have something that they can actually return, grow their money, learn, and we're just excited to see where this goes in the next 6 months to 6 years.
That's really cool. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to see you guys again.
Cheers.
And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll have links to the project below in the description box of the video. Thanks.
Before you move on, make sure you like and share this video. It really helps what we do. Decentro Media is on the ground, face-to-face with the heart of the blockchain industry to find the best projects and meet the people behind them, just for you. So make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to get alerts when we publish about awesome blockchain projects or interview inspiring project leaders as we track the decentralization worldwide.